Welcome to the podcast. This one is with Sunny Mahal. Sunny Mahal is a businessman. He's an entrepreneur, but he's also a motivational mindset coach and speaker. He does lots of stuff on his own social media. Go check him out, Sunny Mahal, and you'll see all the good stuff that he wants to spread. And we had a great chat. About, God, where did we start? We did about everything. We did about life, about the role of women in our life, the positivity from the people around you, starting off in new businesses, pulling yourself out of a rut if you're in a bit of a bad place right now. We shared a lot. I shared a lot with him as well. And he spoke about him being overweight. He spoke about him not eating healthy. He's even to this day, he's got some conditions and allergies to food and stuff, which means he has to live a certain way. But really just having the right mindset to get through all of that. So this is a great one, a nice little slice of positivity. And I just really hope, and on behalf of me and Sunny, we really hope that someone somewhere is touched, affected, and motivated by this podcast. That's why I'm doing it. And that's why Sunny does what he does. So do give him a follow. Do give him a little check out of his stuff yourself online. There's lots of videos on YouTube, and particularly for property people or entrepreneurial business people, you'll get a little bit of goodness from him as well. And hey, we're just a couple of guys working it out as we go along. So hopefully if we can spread some positivity your way, then that's brilliant. This is a great podcast and a great chat with a brilliant guy who goes off on more tangents than I do. This is Sunny Mahal on the Tommy Sandu podcast.
Like you say, like in brown families and Asian culture, when you're in the house, it's all about, okay, you got to stick to, like they say, go to college, go to university, get married, get a job, or get a job, get married, have kids, buy a house, do this, do that. And it's like step by step. And then when you're just busy, when you're around that step-by-step process, it's like, okay, that's all I know. So that's all I can do. And it's just about step outside just a little bit, just expose yourself to, okay, well, that was working 10, 20 years ago. What's working now? What are people doing now?
Yeah.
Evolve.
Okay. And I'm not getting all kind of deep and spiritual. I didn't want this kind of be a religious one because it's not really, but I know faith plays a bit of a part in your life as well. But more so, isn't that funny how about the evolution? I think religion needs to evolve, you know, and particularly Sikhi, I feel like it's a newish religion in the scope of religions.
It is the newest one, yeah.
It's the newest, well, it's a few, and it's the newest, most established one. I mean, it's not like I'm not knocking any other religions, but it's not like a little random offshoot cult. It's a thing, you know, now it's an established worldwide religion, but it's still a new one in that respect. But I've always liked the fact that it stands for evolution.
Yeah.
And it's come out of other religions and it's been born out of a kind of modern set of circumstances. And in a way, that's kind of what you do work-wise. You're kind of going, well, you know, try things out this way. And let's move with the times. Let's not just be set in our ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you're about?
Yeah, pretty much. And even if you look at Sikhi, the whole thing of it is like be humble, be kind, but then also don't hurt anybody else. But then at the same time, don't hurt yourself. Do what makes you happy as well, you know. And when you can sort of get that fine line balance, then you actually realize I ain't doing anything wrong. I'm just doing me. And me is me, you is you, you is you. I sound like Ali G now. You is you, and like everybody else that is different in their own ways. That you just focus on being yourself, and that way you actually realize, you know what, everyone else is doing X, Y, and Z, and they're happy or they're unhappy. But what makes me happy? You know, and it's not about stepping away from your roots and just being a complete prick about things, but it's about, okay, I want to focus on X, Y, and Z. And then when you realize you've done it, most people, when the thing is, when you're looking to make that transition of doing something different or outside of the box, you think everyone's going to hate on you or judge you and stuff like that. But when you actually end up doing it, most people just praise you. Just be like, fair enough. Or they say, Mera munda aa karda hai, meri kudi aa kardi hai. Then they're all proud about it and shit.
but only afterwards.
Only afterwards.
They jump on it. They jump on the bandwagon. But okay, so before, let's go back to before you were successful. And I can say that now. And by the way, do you feel successful? Do you stop and go, yeah, man, I'm doing all right. I'm just Sunny. I'm a bloke. And I'm doing well. I've done well. Do you stop and do that?
I do, yep. Every day I show gratitude for everything, all the tough challenges we've been through and everything that I want to achieve in the future and stuff and what I've already achieved right now. But for me, like success is number one, having a roof over your head, food on the table, happy relationships, your family's around you, or they're alive at least if they're not around you. And really just being blessed every single day for being alive. I mean, you see it on my stories every day. I'm just like, what's happening, people? Happy, whatever day it is, we are blessed to be alive. That's the number one thing there. And I feel that when you are focused and honed down on just that biggest gift there, then you actually do feel that little bit successful as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to listen, it's very easy. I'm a positive person and I
love your energy, by the way. It's good to have it back.
It's true. I advocate, but this could very easily be woohoo, Sunny, and woohoo, Tommy, and woohoo, and this is life, and let's go get it. But I also have been through my challenges, and I know you have as well. And I've also been what I would call at my rock bottom. I've also been like where you're looking up and you're going, what are you doing, God? Why are you? Where is this coming from? Why is this happening? This isn't fair. And I'm going to talk on behalf of those people that might be listening to this right now, because I think they're the ones that will benefit the most from this. I've listened to podcasts, I've listened to audiobooks, I've watched little clips on social media, and it's influenced me. Even yours this morning, and you said something about, I saw something when it came up because just looking at you, I was looking at you in bed, Sonny. How about that? There I was.
Oh dear.
Under the sheets.
Oh dear.
Having a bit of Mahal time. No, right? And it's a Mahal moment. That could be a thing. Hashtag Mahal. Hashtag Mahal moment.
You heard it first.
Right? Here we go. And you said something like about how whatever it is that you're going through right now, you don't realize it's a test, and on the other side of it is the glory of it, and this is all part of that. And I always felt that same way about workouts, about going to the gym. I'm like, no one wants to go gym. But on the other side of that workout, you'll go, man, I don't regret that. I feel great. And I was lying in bed. I was a bit achy. My shoulders were aching from yesterday's workout. And I'm a bit fluey and a bit coldy. And I'm a bit this and I'm a bit that. And I'm a bit choo-chooey. I was doing my choo-choo in bed, right? and I thought, and then I saw your thing. I was like, he's right. Just get up and get it done. Get through the terror. And honestly, it's a game changer now because I feel great now.
Yeah.
But let me go back and talk for the people who are currently going through it. And you say this at the start of your videos. You kind of go, I don't know who needs to hear this right now. And I think that's an important thing because you don't know who's going to connect with what. And I think that's why you do what you do. But for that reason, for those people that are going through it right now, it's hard for them to see another way. Another time, another way life could be. It all just feels a bit rubbish. You can't get through to those people. It's like when I saw the minute silence for mental health. And I saw that, I was like, you know what? And I was going through my hard times at the time. And I was like, piss off. Minute silence and like that. What does that do for me? Yeah, Prince William, Prince Harry, you're all going to stand there for a minute and do chop. Well, guess what? I got this to cleave. I got this rubbish. How do you cut through? How do you cut through to those people and get your messages heard when someone's going through a particularly tough time?
No, awesome question. Now, with that, I would say there's a number of things. And when somebody asks me a question, I just stick to one answer. So I may veer off this way, but I'll come back there.
Hey.
But even with that, like people that are struggling, like let's take you and me, for example, right? When we were struggling and stuff, like my main focus is that first off, we're very good at comparing ourselves to other people, right? You compare and saying, okay, cool. You know what? I'm in, let's say, for example, I'm in a 9-to-5 and that person's an entrepreneur and they got their own business. They got the lifestyle. They got this, they got that. We compare where we are now to where they are currently right now as well, right? But what we have to look at is that those people all went through exactly what we are going through right now. Nobody had it easy. Nobody just woke up, unless you was born into money and stuff. That's a different thing. But even those people frigging struggle because they don't actually appreciate how to make money and stuff and what actual life is and the hustle and the hard work of it, right? So I would always say, like, for me, when I was going through the tough times, first off, I was very like faith orientated as well. Just be like, okay, why it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Like, you're putting me through this for some X, Y, and Z reason, right? But then I started looking at, let me study other people, right? And I studied other people and had conversations, and pretty much majority of them said, you know what, I've had some shit times. I've gone through those tough times, but all I did was keep focusing on where I want to be. You know, and that's exactly what I said. Okay, even if I'm struggling through this, everything in life is as temporary as we choose it to be. Right? Because we can, like, again, mental health and stuff, I've struggled with it, you struggled with it and stuff, but just know that everything we're going through is temporary. If you look at it this way, your success, the pinnacle of you achieving your success, is going to be temporary unless you do something different to get to the next level and you start adapting and you start evolving. If you stay stagnant, it's going to go down and down and down, right? It's the same thing when you're in a dark place of saying, okay, cool, you know what? This is happening to me for a reason. Yes, looking at whatever I want, I might say to somebody who's really upset and they say, I'm really down in the dump, Sunny, but I want to achieve X, Y, and Z. But it's just hard to see it. From where I am now, is I can see it, but believing it is a different thing.
Yeah.
And the one thing that sort of changed it for me was to, first off, speak. You know, because a lot of people, when they are struggling with that, they keep it to themselves internally, especially Bunday as well. I'm not saying men over women or anything, but a lot of men, they keep it quiet to themselves that, okay, it's a bit, it's not manly to talk, so I just need to keep it into myself. Whereas when you actually realize when you speak, first off, your mind is like, okay, cool. You know what? We've actually spoken about this. But secondly, what you realize is you find the frigging answer yourself as you're talking to someone. You hear yourself back and you're like, you know what? That's kind of silly what I'm saying. Or actually, I can see the answer within that self. You know, even for me, I coach, have done and do like coach hundreds of students who are literally professionals looking to start their business, or business owners struggling with mental health and stuff, trying to take to the next level. And it's all about talking to start with. But then it's about really saying, okay, cool. You know what? I need to surround myself with those types of people who are where I'm looking to go. Right. Because then when you're in a community, then it becomes more like, actually, you know what? It's not just happening to me. Like if me and you, like we were friends, like when we were both struggling, we sat there, Tommy, how's it going? You're like, yeah, I'm cool, man. I'll be like, no, really, how are you? And you'll be like, yeah, I'm kind of struggling with this. And I'll be like, shit, man, me too. Like, no way. Like, I thought it was just me and stuff. And you're like, really? Me? And then that literally just makes you feel like a part of something rather than being a part away from something. You know, like, again, it just makes you feel like you're a part of that. And then I would say like, it really comes down to even what I said today, like what do you let in? You know, like what do you let into your mind? If you're going to keep thinking negative thoughts, what's going to be your reality in the external world? Pretty much everything negative. So start shifting it by, number one, showing gratitude for everything that you've achieved, because you may sit there saying life is shit, life is not all that. But when you look back at your life of everything you've achieved and everything you're proud of, even from passing your bloody driving test or passing your GCSEs and stuff like that, whatever you did, you at one point were struggling, but then you actually pushed through and you got it done. And on the other side was, actually, you know what? I did it. Okay, cool. I've got to that point there. So in a roundabout way, everything basically comes down to your thoughts, right? You think something, you feel something, you act upon it, you achieve something. So if you want to achieve something, it really comes down to your thoughts. And we are in control of our thoughts. But even every day, we have over 70,000 thoughts. And over 80% of those bloody thoughts are the same frigging thought that we had yesterday. And over 90% of those are negative thoughts. So it's like, what do you think they're going to keep compounding across? So we have to make a conscious effort to say, okay, you know what? I may be thinking like this, but what's the opposite? And even when you're there, like let's say, for example, you're struggling on something and you are on your own, you don't have a circle, ask yourself the question out loud. Say, okay, why am I feeling like this? Why am I upset? Why am I down and out? When you ask that question, your mind is going to start saying, okay, well, you're asking a bloody question. Let me give you the friggin' answer. And it's normally the first thing that comes to mind. But then what we are very good at doing is, because it scares us, because it puts us out of our comfort zone, we just push it down, be like, nah, it's not probably that. It's not probably that relationship. It's not probably that career. It's not probably that business. It's something else. It's something else. And then we keep pushing it down. But the funny thing is about the mind, you've got the conscious mind, the unconscious mind. And when the unconscious mind brings something up, when you ask it a question, it only brings it up when it knows you have the answer or the solution ahead of you to actually fix it. But most of us are just afraid of just like doing that. And it's just like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to stay back and stay where I am.
I love it. 70,000 thoughts a day.
Over. They can't gauge it, but over.
68,000 of those for me are food related. I'd imagine. Like, am I hungry? What shall I eat now? What about,
especially for me as well now. I'm just like, man, I can't even eat half the stuff because I've got all these bloody allergies. I'm like, I wish I could have some chicken. I wish I could do this.
Oh, what? You're allergic to chicken? What kind of allergy? What allergy is that?
Man's got his pills just in case. I told you this morning.
Wow. So this is serious. Okay, what is it? Would you mind me asking? What's that? What is that? What is that called?
They don't know. They've not figured it out yet. I think it's been nearly a year now. And all of a sudden, one night I woke up and my bottle and lips were like this. My tongue was swelling up. I couldn't breathe. My face was all swelling up from here and stuff. And I was like, raw. And then rushed to A&E, and they still haven't figured it out. So I went private and they did a test, like a blood test, and it's soy, nuts, gluten. So even having roti, it's just like, what? And then chicken. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Anything bird related? I'm like, nah.
Like cheese, loud music, nightclubs, bottles of vodka. You're like, no, allergic. Oh man, I think your wife's interfered with your allergy test here. She's like, yeah, let's make him cut all this. No,
there you go. Yeah.
Actually, can we take it back? Because I'm going to take it back for a few reasons. To before all the property and the motivational stuff. To your wife, because getting into property wasn't your idea, was it?
No.
Whose idea was it?
The gaffer.
Yeah, the Voti. The Voti who doesn't need to make roti because you're allergic to it. She doesn't need to. She's like, great result. No, but this is it's funny, and I'll tell you why I want to touch on it, because here we are in 2022, and I feel almost embarrassed that I have to say this, but we do have to say it because of the world that we're in. And I've grown up with two sisters. I've got no brothers. My mum's amazing. She's a gift from God, is what my mum is, and my wife's amazing. And through my tough times, she has absolutely got me through. Just probably more so just by getting on with it. Like you say, not dwelling in it, the negatives and the whatever, and saying, well, we got to keep moving on. And also sticking by me, sticking with me, not wobbling herself, being a soldier, absolutely stepping up. So I suppose I wanted to take a moment to sort of see, here we talk about all the influence in your life. You're an influencer, you're a motivational person. But what role did your wife play in being the you that you are now?
She literally, with God's blessing, she is literally the massive rock behind everything I do. Just like you say with your wife as well. For me, it's like even we started off in business doing like retail stores and everything like that. And she was like, you know what, we need to do property investing as well. And I was just like, nah, businesses are doing good and stuff like that. She's like, no, I've seen people doing it. Like obviously, like we've seen it, Asians, family, like our parents back in the day buying a frigging house for like 10 grand, and now it's worth like 600-700 grand. Like, you kidding? It's just like we need to do this. Other people are doing it. And then again, watching like Homes Under the Hammer and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, you know what? If they could do it, let's give it a go. So we gave it a go. We made a shitload of mistakes, lost money and all that kind of stuff, like you do when you're doing it the first time round. But then it was like, you know what? That we've done that one, and that money's coming in. Yes, granted, we have to do the hard work first, doing the refurb, getting tenants in, all that kind of stuff. But now we're making X amount a month without having to be there or having to do anything. So then it was like, okay, cool. Let's focus on pushing through on that. But even for me, like running multiple businesses at like late early 20s, I started. I think I was like 23, 24. By the time I was 30, had like 3-4 businesses, I think, and working like 16, 17 hours a day. And it was all for me, it was like money, money, money. Like especially Asian culture, make money, make money, make money. And it was like, okay, what about life? What about relationships? What about holidays? What about like downtime and stuff? And that was non-existent. And even for us, we didn't go on holiday together for what, like 6 years? It was just like work. And then even then my mindset started to take a toll, my health and fitness. I was like, 18 and a half stone, 42-inch waist.
Wow.
I was a big chunky monkey, right?
Yeah,
and I was like, it's not about money. So that's when I decided, look, you know what, I need to step away from this because I want to live a life at the same time. And she supported like with that side of things, say, you know what, Sunny, it is about life. It's not just about money. And then stepped away on business, sold them, kept a few and stuff, and then just focused solely on like mindset. I learned NLP, became an NLP practitioner to be like, okay, cool. You know what is the mind? Like we know how to do business. We know how to go to the gym and lift weights, but what about the weights in here? And then when I learned that was just like a game changer. And we both got trained in it together as well. And we were both literally blown away by it and stuff. And then literally she's literally my everything. Without her, it's nothing. But then I always say to people, like, your partner, if they are your rock, awesome, but you have to be your own rock as well. You have to put yourself first to be like, okay, if they're there for me, I need to be there for me so I can be there for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's that we talk about this all the time, me and my wife, about how if a plane's going down, you got to put your own seatbelt on first. And that's not selfish. That's to say, look, I need to make myself strong so now I can look after you lot. I can be there for you. I'm secure for that. And it's sometimes hard because in our culture, in our families, there's a lot of things pulling us in different directions. And you got to then go, whoa, no, I'm going to make this time for myself. I'm going to cut off. I'm not going to go to that party, or I'm not going to go around and see that person because I can't right now. Like I say, you've got a lot on. Do you mind me asking, are there kids in the mix? Are you?
Not yet.
How old are you?
Yeah, my kids are my businesses.
Okay, at the moment. Okay, so which is similar. It's a similar way though. It's a nurturing. It's a looking after. It's it's like plants. It's watering. It's feeding. It's kind of watching them kind of grow. But you're very young to have these kind of this wise head on your shoulders. How old are you now?
How do I look? Take a guess, baby.
I think you're about 31, 32. But judging by what you've done, you should be about 40, 44, 45.
37.
37. Okay, so it's okay. So what if you don't mind sharing it, and I don't know, what were your tough times? What was that period that you were like, holy crap?
It was a lot to do with like mental health, like stress, anxiety, depression, fear, obesity. I was literally the quietest person in the room. And that's why when people see me now, they're just like, who the hell have you become? Like, really? Like, you don't shut up, man. And you're always talking sense and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And before it used to be, again, even like way back, even before businesses, it was about like when you surround yourself with friends who literally like live for the weekend, you get paid on Friday, you're broke by bloody Monday, you're out in the park doing silly shit, you're in the pub, out nights out and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, cool. That became the norm. But then when I got into business, what you have to also remember is not only you, but everybody, like when you transition to becoming a business owner or in property, most people come from a 9 to 5 mentality. So it's like you go to work, you take orders, you go home, bus, nothing to do with me, I'm chilling. But in a business or in property, you are your own gaffer. You have to have that mentality of, right, it does lay on me.
Yeah.
But then having to like leverage everything else as well. But coming back to your question about like the whole like dark times and everything, it was a lot to do with just like self-belief, confidence, going into a shell, and even like obviously like Asian culture, drinking. So like even drinking became a normal thing and stuff. And now I'm just like, yo, man, I don't mind a whiskey or two, but then you don't like the next day, you know, you don't like the next feeling. So he's like, okay, you stop there. But for me, it was a lot with that, you know. And the reason I really am passionate about helping a lot of people, not only on business, but more so like if anybody says to me, Sunny, help me get into property or help me grow my business, I'm like, cool, we're going to work on this first. And they're like, what? How? What? Like, what? I don't get it. No, teach me how to do ads, marketing, how to do my numbers in property, how to find a deal, how to raise investment. I'm like, you can do all of that, but you have to change your mindset first, because it's exactly what I did. I reverse engineered it before, went into business, went into making money, but not actually in control of this, and actually focus too much on that. But when I became in control of my mindset, and a lot of people say, I'm not in control of my thoughts. You actually are, right? That's the only thing. You're actually only in control of what you think and what you put in your bloody body. Everything else external is like different, right? So why not control those two things and watch your external life change? And then for me, when I realized that, I think for me, like I did start working on myself, like independently. Then a lot of people said, Sunny, like you've shifted from shy, depressed, anxious, obese, all that kind of stuff, to not having any focus or energy, to being who you are now. Teach us. And I was like, look, the mind is one of the most powerful things we have in the world, but it's also one of the most fragilest things, right? So I don't really feel comfortable teaching you what worked for me, because it might not work for you and it might actually make it even worse.
Yeah.
So then that's why I went to learn NLP, became a practitioner on that side of things, and understood the mind. And now whatever someone's situation is, I can accordingly use the tools and the strategies that I know are going to work for them and help them on a bespoke way there, rather than actually just throwing it out there, be like, do this. Because like you say, most people are in that place where they're not ready to do this, what that thing is. So social media is a thing of just an outlet of like you say, I don't know who needs to hear this today. So my message is always kind of different, hitting home someone, and someone's like, yo, I needed to hear that today. And then that's where that sort of like that spark goes off. Like, okay, cool. You know what? I want to follow this dude, and it makes sense. And then gradually, holy, the more and more messaging I put out there, it builds that compound effect and that confidence in that one person. And then they go off and do something there. And I get messages literally like 6 months, a year later saying, Sunny, that video you did, whatever date it was, it really helped me. And now I'm at this place here. So thank you very much for that. And these are people I've never met and stuff. So it's like really about helping other people to be like, okay, I know what it's like, but there's a certain structure to do to actually get you to where you want to be.
Oh God, I've got so many questions. The problem with you, you're like me. You're worse than me. I call myself Tangent Tommy, but you've touched on so many things there. Firstly, let me just say, because it's the first thing that's come to my mind. Why help other people? Because okay, it's great that you cracked the code and you've got the code, or you've got you found your way. But then there's something else that clicks in that says, Horner, I'm going to share this with everyone. You know, like you could just kind of go, whew, I made it through that. Right, let me crack on now and do my work and be there for my missus or whatever else, and, you know, look after myself, my health, and focus on my diet and all the things that you've got to do. But instead you're going, no, I must tell everybody. And I think this is, I'm going to say, me and my missus talk about it all the time. I think there's something in us as the people. We find something good and you're going to go, I want everyone else to have a go. I want you to make money from it. I want you to see this because I found this thing. It's over. Oh, guys, it's over here. This is how to do it. Why do you feel the need to share your goodness with others?
Because I know what it feels like to struggle, and it's not a nice thing, especially when you feel on your own and stuff like that. It's not a nice thing. And I always say, and the thing is that it comes back to business. Before, when I chased money, I wasn't that happy. But now that like business, God's grace and everything, business is good, property is good, online, everything that we do, it's all good, that you don't have to worry about the money element. That now it's like, okay, cool. You know what? That's all good there. But how can you actually help others to overcome exactly where you were? It's like if I came to you saying, Tommy, you know what? I'm in a really dark place, man. You was really like in that place as well. But now you're smashing it, man. Like, can you help me? What would you turn around and say?
Oh man, I honestly, okay, I've got lots to say. This is, I suppose, and the reason why I have people like you on the podcast, people like you, other, I speak to lots of motivational people or mindset people. It's because I'm into it now, but I'm still learning.
Mm.
And that's the other thing I was going to, okay, I'll answer your question in just a second. That's the other thing I want to touch upon is you've got the code and you found this way, but I'd imagine it's not over yet. So we're going to come back to that in a second. It's not like, oh, I've got it. Yeah, I'm positive now. Ta-da! Positive forever. No, it's a process. It's like working out. I've still got to go gym tomorrow. I've still got to work on. Oh yeah, I feel like my glutes are looking good. My chitin is nice and firm and round, and it's beautiful. It's like a couple of patile. Ta ta ta. I can make it clap. All right, whatever. Right, but it ain't gonna stay that way. But it's not going to make it stay that way because you've got to keep working at it. In the same way, I think the mind is the same. So I'll come back to the fact that it's an ongoing process in a moment. What I would say is something which I now believe, which is it's not cloudy forever. It's not sunny forever, Mr. Mahal. It's seasons come and go. And even with the most positive of mindsets, you will go through tough times. Those situations will still arise. But the strength of your mindset, the belief system, the values, I don't drink anymore. I gave up 2 and a bit years ago.
Nice.
For the same, exactly the reasons you're saying. Hangovers are like, this isn't me. I'm lying on the sofa. My kids are running around making noise, and I'm going, oh, I feel like crap, But don't get me wrong, drink is great at the time. Do the shots in the club. I still love clubs. I still love music, and I know drink lifts your mood. I know it does, and it's phenomenal when you're there and you're laughing, you're dying with laughter, and a late night kebab is amazing. I miss all that. I'm not here preaching, kind of going, oh, I don't stand for it anymore, and it's whatever. No. I know it's great, right? And I'm sure, and I've never done it, Class A drugs are great. And I'm sure being off your nut for a whole weekend in Ibiza, cheating on your wife must feel great at that time. But reality is going to kick back in. You're going to break someone's heart. You're going to hurt your own body. You're going to cause a bit of damage somewhere or another. So for those reasons, that ain't for me. My point was, my point is, it's not cloudy forever. That's what I suppose. That's what I would say, and that's kind of what I want to get across. So when I say to you, I'm asking you questions on behalf of other people who are going through it. I kind of want to hear it from you. I want you to tell people who are kind of going, I just can't. I don't know where the next step is, son. I can't. I haven't. It's easy for us, having gone through the storm, to look back at it and go, oh crap, please. And I almost beg them. I go, please, just hang in there now. Just hang in there and keep going. And the mindset is everything, because if you are focused in a positive place, I think you'll eventually get there. You just will eventually, but it might take months. It might take flipping years. It took me years, and I'm telling you, it was horrible for years. But you get through it. So that would be my short answer is you'll get through it eventually. It's not cloudy forever.
Cool. And then even coming back to what you said, like, why do I do it? But A, I don't like seeing other people struggle. B, I think it comes back to, again, what we started the conversation with, like a lot of sicky and stuff, that if you can help somebody, help them. You go, like, if I come to your house, like, and I'll be like, hey, Tommy, how's it going and stuff? And you'd be like, what do you want to eat? What do you want to drink? Like, I don't want anything, man. You'd be like, no, you got to have something. You got to have, you are there to help people. It's like like you said, in our DNA that, okay, if someone's struggling, you don't just sit there and be just like, look at them, because how can you go away afterwards being like, what, that person was struggling and I did nothing about it. And for me, it's like, okay, like, it's about changing the world, because A, I hate like the whole news media and all that kind of stuff. I don't watch it because it's all fucking negative anyway, right? That when people come to me, I want to be like, okay, you know what? I spoke to Tommy. He was struggling. Not that you are, but even if it was you and saying like he was struggling, it helped him. But now he's actually called me 6 months later, 2 weeks later, that's saying, you know what? My wife's saying I've had an impact on the household. My kids are happier. I'm actually excited about what I'm doing now. It has a ripple effect. And I always say to people, whenever I help you, you have to go out of your way and help somebody else if you see them struggling. And then also coming back to the other thing, that's saying, okay, if somebody was in a dark place, first off, I would say, right, write down everything you're unhappy about in all the areas: your health, your fitness, your relationships, your career, your business, your well-being, whatever it is, right? Write down everything you're unhappy about. Then write what you would like the complete opposite to be.
Yeah.
Then write down what do I need to do in order to achieve just the next thing. And even if you don't know the entire journey, right? If you say, right, you know what, I'm unhappy with my job and I want to start a business. Okay, cool. So I'm unhappy with my job. I want to start a business. What's the next what the fuck am I passionate about and actually wanting to do in a business? Okay, cool. Not that, ooh, they're doing Forex, I'll try that. They're doing property, I'll try that. It's not about that. It's about what would you enjoy doing, right? And even if you don't know that, then start spending some time. You know what? Each and every day, I'm going to spend 20 minutes on YouTube or listen to podcasts of other people who have been in a situation and they've achieved X, Y, and Z. And then something along the lines, like you said, it could be a week, a month, a year later, will click and you'll be like, that's the one that I'll do there. And then when you do that, then you're going to write again, right? What's the next step now? Do I need to learn from somebody? Do I need to invest in myself? Do I need to surround myself with different people? And all of that starts to change. But even if people are going back again to your question, that if people are struggling and stuff, first off, just be frank with yourself. Am I working on my body? Am I working on my health and fitness? Could it be like yoga, going for a walk every day, going to the gym, just doing some frigging star jumps and push-ups and stuff? And like, are you looking after your body first? Because when you do that, then your thinking starts to change. You release endorphins and hormones that allow you to think naturally positive as well.
Yeah. The workout's the key. I want to just touch on that now that you said that.
Massive.
Because I work out every day. Yeah, for the last, particularly for the last 6, 7, 8 months, it's been every day. For the last 2 years, it's been 5, 6 times a week, something. So even if it's 20 minutes, half an hour on the cross trainer, or if it's a run or whatever, there's something quite magical about what a workout does for mindset. What does it do?
It's natural. It releases endorphins and hormones. It makes you think. Think about it. When you're lifting weights or you're running, check to everybody watching this. If you feel a bit funky and you feel a bit down and stuff, go for a walk, go for a run, go to the gym and something. And I promise you, you won't be able to think about the shit that's annoying you. You cannot think about it, right? It's because your body is focused on you. And then, like you say, afterwards, that pump, it's not just like blood in the muscles. It's actual in your mind as well. It's exercise and everything as well. That it's a natural remedy for being friggin' happy or having more energy even. Because have you probably know as well, like sometimes you're tired and you get to the gym and then afterwards you leave like fucking Superman. You're like, come, we take on the world.
Bruv, sometimes I said to my missus, sometimes it's dangerous. What I feel inside after a workout, I feel like it's probably a good thing I'm at home, because right now I feel like, put me on stage. I want to do a stand-up show now. I want to do it right now. In my, I love my stand-up, and the reason why I think I enjoy the stand-up is people are going to get nervous when I'm like, no, I always have a workout before a stand-up show, because you want to get that spring in your step, that feel good, which, by the way, isn't too dissimilar from what you get from a couple of drinks inside you. Like, yeah, feeling good. But there's a payback for that. Yeah. For the drink thing, and it does. There will be, even if it's not right now, because you're 21, 22, 23, 24, and your body can bounce back. When you're 45, there's no bouncing back. Your dead is gonna bounce back. That's about it.
Exactly.
But I'm a full advocate, and I'm a big believer of little angels in disguise as well. So one of my closest mates, when I was going through my toughest time, rang me and said, "I'm picking you up. We're going gym." He didn't say we're going pub. He said, we're going gym. Yeah. And he'd do that every week, and on a guest passed in his gym, because I was just at home moping around. And you're like, wow, if he didn't do that, and if my wife didn't also, my wife works out every day as well. So if she wasn't working out and he wasn't doing that, and then she was making sure we were eating right, and then just seeing her work out, and she goes, oh, she's got a little stack of weights in the garage, and then I'd use them. Then I got into it a bit more. Then she'd go for a run, and I think, oh, I don't want to be the fat guy with a skinny wife. Right? So I'm like, we got to match a little bit here. And she's lean. So I'm like, okay, so I'd go for a little run as well. I'm already the bald guy. I don't want to be the old fat guy. Anyway, but meaning the people around you can motivate you. So this brings me to my question of, you are your circle. You mentioned in one of your posts, cutting out those toxic relationships and relatives, those friendships and relatives that are just no good for you. The people that you kind of go, I just feel this weight from you, or this negativity, and I don't want to be around it. That's hard to do. It's hard to cut out negativity.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. So remind me negativity. We'll come back to that. The other thing I related to you on so much, when you said like you was moping around and your mate said, let's go to the gym and stuff. Me, when I was in my dark times and moping around and stuff, I was too shy to go to the gym, because exactly like you, I didn't want to be the big dude in the gym. And then I thought, what else can I do? Again, I started asking better questions. If I can't go to the gym, what else can I do? I'll go for a run. No, what if people see me running on the street? I'm quite big. Okay, cool. I don't want to go out in the street. So what shall I do at home? Okay, cool. Then I go into insanity. Then I go into
Oh,
P90X. I don't know if anybody
yeah, yeah, yeah.
watching now, you younger
That's hard.
generation, people don't know about that shit.
Yeah,
DVDs and CDs at home and just doing it in the bloody in the bedroom and stuff, putting a bloody black bag on and then putting the hoodie over it and stuff, just be like, okay, I need to lose this weight. And when I did that, I was like, wow, I actually feel so much better. Then for my own personal growth, I had then the confidence to go to the gym. And then I started to implement gym life there as well. So it's like, if you're not confident in going out to anybody watching, you can still do something at home. And you only need 15, 20 minutes, right? And if you can't find 15, 20 minutes, just to say, whatever happens, Sunny and Tommy said, if I don't work on my health and fitness, it's not going to help. I need to spend 15, 20 minutes today doing as many push-ups, as many sit-ups, as many squats as I can. Watch how I feel afterwards, or running on the spot, or skipping, or whatever it is, right? And then, so that was the answer to that one. Then coming back to the
negativity.
And not even I want to reverse again. That's not the answer to that one. That's just an opinion from somebody who's been through it as well. There's no perfect answer for anything, but it's just like, look at what other people have done. Then coming back to toxic people, it is true what you say. Like, a lot of people have those people who are in their life, which are family, right? And you can't really cut them out. Can't really divorce your family, right? But then I would say
you can try. No,
you can
no,
try.
you're right. Yeah.
But even like, again, coming down to writing down what you're unhappy about and what do you need to do, write down all the people that you spend the most time with, right? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being super toxic, 1 being super positive, and rate them. And anybody in a 5 and a below, choose to spend less time with them, because it is a choice. Exactly what I said today on stories. It is a choice. You either choose to be there or you choose not to. Because if you sit there saying, my parents make me feel like this, my partner makes me feel like this, my friends make me feel like this, my boss makes me feel like this, every time you're pointing at somebody else, there's always 3 fingers pointing back at you. So what can I do differently? It's never, when you put the control on the external, you become a weakling. You become weak. And that's where you think, I'm stuck. This is my reality. Yes, it is, until you friggin' realize there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. Not to say I'm going to shout from the rooftops and just be rude to everybody. No, because then you're just the same as somebody else. What can you do differently on a calm level? And then if they are on a 5 and below, just choose to spend that little bit less time with them, right? And then the people that are 5 and above, choose to spend a bit more time with them. But then I've also had students who I've worked with who said, Sunny, everyone's a fucking 5 and a below. So I don't even know what to do. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then choose to spend time viewing people online, right? Watching YouTube videos, listen to podcasts and networking, going to online networking events even, or just going to a networking event in your area, or just type in whatever you're into, what type of people can I surround myself with? And then it comes back to the gym again. Positive people go to the gym. So why not get your ass to the gym or a local boot camp or something like that and start talking to people like that? And then holy, you're actually going to realize, you know what? These are the type of people I need in my life. Because even for me, when I was in London, before I started in business, I had a small group of friends. Some were decent, some were not. But then I just chose to up and leave. I left actual London to move up into the Midlands to be like, I'm working on myself, business, growth, all that kind of stuff. I want more from life, not just get paid on Friday, broke on Monday. Right. And then that way, that when I made that transition, I had no choice. I had to make new friends. I had to focus on business. I had to work on myself. And then that was like distraction free. Now, I know not everyone can do that, but just do that exercise that I said, and then just choose to consciously try and spend more time with people, make new friends, or follow more people online that you can see, hey, I love their messaging every day. It makes me feel good. Even for me, when I do my stories in the morning, I'm always playing a banging tune, normally from the 80s, because 80s babies had the best music.
Yeah.
And when I'm playing those songs, sometimes when I'm not on one of the days, because I'm just running around like crazy, people are messaging me, yo, Sunny, you're right, man. Like, we haven't seen you on stories. We really needed that fix this morning, man.
Yeah.
So people get used to that. So it helps them get their day going as well.
Good on you. Where in London were you, and where in the Midlands are you now?
So I was Berkshire first, so Slough, the good old ends. And then now I'm just outside Coventry. Okay, so I'm normally in between the two now.
Okay, right. So this is, well, that takes a lot as well. So you physically cut yourself off, not cut yourself off, detached to some extent,
distance,
distance, lengthened your proximity to certain things, circumstances, and that's allowed you to kind of restart and start this whole new chapter of your world. And how long have you been in property now?
So I've been in retail and business for 15 years or 16 years, and property for about 11.
Okay, so it's still, that means you got in probably late 20s into kind of where you are now. So That's a key one. Okay, so obviously I dabble with a little bit of property, but nothing on your scale. And it's kind of, I think, as you described in one of your videos, it's a supplementary income, because I knew, being a radio and TV presenter and DJ or whatever is one thing. It's a thing I love, and I love doing it. I love people, and I love audiences, I love crowds. It's an ego fix, all of those reasons. But there needs to be something a bit more long-term, rock solid, and that's what property provided for me. But not a lot, just maybe one project every 2, 3, 4 years. Sit on a property and that's been the thing that's kind of helped me through financially. But for those who are starting out now, I don't know the property scene in the way that you know it. And there are a lot of people I know who are moving to the Midlands who are going, man, tell you what, it's not just London. There's a whole world in Leicester, in Coventry, up north as well, in Grimsby, and all that stuff. And they're buying up cheaper properties. The margins might be smaller, but there's things they can do. So to someone who kind of goes, actually, I love property. I look at Rightmove, by the way, at night, and I hide it from my wife like it's porn. I'm like that because she's like, "Are you looking at Rightmove again?" I'm like, what? Yeah. What are you looking at? Oh, babe, look at this big double fronted. Whoa, look at that. I'm like that. But
you get a semi from a semi detached.
I do. And so more high rise. I was going to go a high. Okay, sorry. So I was. I really do know I have a love for it, but I've only got that love through family, being in property, dabbling with it here and there. And I think actually it excites me when I see my email inbox and I see the things related to a property project. I can feel there's like a sparkle around that email for me in my heart. Like, oh, what's that? I want to open that. Whereas if it's something else, from something a bit more miserable, or something else to do with, I don't know, some detail to do with, even with presenting, which I love, I'm not so excited by it. So I know it does something for me, and I'm so glad I found that thing. But for those who are starting out in anything, what's the advice there of wanting to give something a go? Because at the moment, their future self that they've had visions about is over there. It's at a distance. It's not in their life. You've got this amazing ability to feel like you're manifesting what you believe. You put your mind to it. We go to the gym. We're all super positive. But someone's going to go, oh, for God's sake, shut up, Sonny and Tommy. Shut up with all this. Oh, go gym. Feel good. Sort your diet out. I'm like, no, piss off. I'm going to have a packet of crisps. I'm going to go sit on the sofa and I'm going to open a bottle of wine. But so their future self is so far away. What do they do right now?
Okay, cool. So twofold. So again, when you said just there about being super positive, it's not about being super positive in anything, because obviously we have these emotions like fear, doubt, guilt, anger, resentment, all that kind of stuff, right? And being happy, being positive, being courageous and stuff like that. But when people are feeling in the negative emotion, it's about feeling it, but not living in it. Because obviously we have to feel those emotions. We can't be happy if somebody passes away and stuff. You're not going to be fucking happy about it. You're not going to be positive, are you? So you have to feel that emotion of whatever that is, allow yourself to feel it, but then say, you know what, I'm not going to allow myself to live here in that forever. That once I feel okay with this, then I'm going to move on to the future and be more positive and focus on what I want to be, right? So it's about managing your emotions, not always being positive. Then coming back to the property question, it really comes down to, first off, do you actually really want to invest in property, or are you just doing it just because somebody else is doing it? Because that's a lot of the time people think they're going to do it. Then most people say they want to do property, but they're not necessarily ready to do property development as well. And then the third thing I would say is think of property as a long-term game as well. Because too many people, they want to buy a house, do it up, sell it within like a couple of weeks and make like 100 grand. It doesn't work that way, right? You have to think of it, have a long-term plan and have a short-term plan as well. But I would say with property, if you don't know anything about it, research. Spend half an hour every single day for the next 8 weeks. And if you are still passionate about investing into property, then do something about it. But if you find that actually, you know what, it's not really something I want to do. I want to set up an online business. I want to do Forex. I want to do public speaking, whatever it is, then do what you want to do passionately rather than just doing what somebody else did. And then once you find your passion, then start investing your money into property bit by bit. And like you said, like buying a house a year or 2 houses a year and stuff. So you've got that income coming in and that capital appreciation and stuff. So you've got that residual income coming in should you choose to take a break from whatever you're doing right now. So then you've got that mixture there. So it's not a straightforward answer. I wish it was. No, it's just like anybody saying who wants to be a mindset coach. Oh, it sounds all good, but nah, what else shall I do? You have to figure out, learn the steps. But then even if you're unsure of what you want to do, have conversations with people who are already doing it. Get to know the good side of it, get to know the bad side of it, make a conscious decision and saying, actually, you know what, still, like everything in life has risks. You want to become a DJ, has a risk. You want a mindset and business coach, has a risk. But what are the pros to it as well? Weigh it up, then choose there. But then even like just learn. That's all you have to do. But then also when it comes back to learning as well, don't just learn, because people will watch endless webinars, read book after book, be on YouTube for months and months. I've got the knowledge. I've got the knowledge. Cool. That don't mean shit. Knowledge is not power. Implementation of knowledge is power. So implement what you're learning, and then you're going to start to see, actually, you know what? I do enjoy property, or I don't enjoy property. And then you can take it a step further.
Brilliant. Listen, I think there's loads more we could talk about. I'd love to get you on again down the line when, you're slightly at a different phase. I'm at a different phase. There's other things going on. And maybe, just talking sort of more specifics as well, because this is almost like an introduction to Sunny Mahal by Tommy Sandu for me, because I get to know your world and what you're about. And it's been great, man. It's been really great. And I think, we're similar. We're cut from a similar cloth in many ways. And I want to help people. And I hope, if you're listening to this right now, it's helped. And even if you just take a step towards your goal, take a step towards finding out a bit more, Google that thing that you want to find a little bit more about, but just give things a go, and good luck with you and your journey. And thank you, Sunny. Cheers, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time, man. Go on, he's going to add one more thing before he goes. Look at this, one more bit of gyan.
So what's Tommy Sandu's goal for the next couple of years?
Oh, man. Real talk, son. Okay, I've got some stuff I'm wrapping up on in terms of the hard times I went through. It's legal matters, so I just don't want to physically go. Partly because I don't want to share negativity, so I want to talk about the negativity around that legal thing. So that's hopefully going to wrap up one way or another this year. And I've started on a couple of new property things, so I'm excited by that. This podcast was only launched about 6-7 months ago. I'm excited by this and the conversations I'm getting to have with Bollywood people, musicians, actors, directors, producers, and also comedians, mindset people, food people, family people. So this podcast is me. I do this because really more so for me. So I'm going to reflect my world and the things that I love, which is food, which is family, which is having a laugh, which is, being solid in your head, and also knowing that it's ongoing, that we're going to mess up now and then, but you can get through it with the right people around you and with good influences. You will have influenced me. We together hopefully would have influenced someone else. That feels good. So so my goal now, having been through my rock bottom, is to say, you know what? I'm out for everything now. I'm out for everything in terms of happiness, contentment, financially, in every aspect. To be a good husband, to be a good dad. I want to be the best I can be. I don't want anything to get in the way of that. And I feel fearless. If I'm honest, I feel absolutely fearless. I feel like, let's go. But proof's in the pudding. Got to make steps. There's a lot of work, and I'm not afraid of the work now, because I think it's another couple of years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of real hard work, then less hard work, if I'm honest. And then also knowing contentment wise, knowing when to ease off the pedal and go, it's cool. I've kind of got enough now. I want to just be in the now. I want to watch my kids grow up. I want to watch their giggling, watch their laughter, look after them, and create good memories for other people, create comedy for other people as well. So, that's it. So I don't know what the answer was there, but it's to create better times and to be a part of better times, I guess.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I'd also say to anybody watching as well, like obviously your goals, ambitious and really inspiring and stuff. But to anybody watching, when you say, okay, you know what, I'm in a place where I'm right now, I'll be happy when I achieve this. I'll be happy when I'm this. Never focus on I'll be happy when, because when you get to that point, you'll be like, right, I've got that. I need more now. I'll be happy when I get this. So focus on enjoying the journey. And I know it might sound a bit cliche of like, oh, how can I enjoy the journey if I ain't enjoying the process? But you have to focus on making time for yourself, making time for your loved ones as well. And not being an entrepreneur is not about being a million mile an hour. It cannot be done. You can do it, you'll burn out, crash, and that's that, right? And it's not about focusing your happiness on material things. It's more so, am I enjoying every single day of my life? Or if I do have a shit day, it's okay. I'm going to come back stronger tomorrow, because I don't have an amazing day all the time. You don't, but we just have the tools to handle it and then come back more stronger as well.
Fully.
We can achieve anything that we will put our mind to. Simple as.
Okay, achieve it. Go get it. Have a brilliant one. Sunny Mahal, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, brother. Peace and love, man.